we are here to do the husband tag video. My husband has graciously agreed to be a part of the video. We have the questions that you guys asked us, and we're gonna go through all 17,000 of these questions, and we're gonna answer them as honestly as we can. Okay, so I'm gonna jump right in. What are some habits you picked up from your husband? I don't know if habits, I mean, I don't think I picked up any of your habits. I don't think so.
Just my lingo.
Your lingo? What is that? Like the crap you say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what you say just so hot. What you say?
Like, thank you. Then you took that.
So like, I think these are questions pertaining to when we've been married. I've been saying, well, they didn't specify, but you didn't create thank you. So I can use that however I see fit.
Well, one of the habits I would like her to pick up is...
Whoa, that's not even the question. They didn't ask you what habits you want me to pick up. The question was, what are some habits you picked up? Habits I've already picked up, not what's on your list for me to pick up.
We'll save that for a later date.
So then that question is reversed to you.
Since we've been married, one of the habits that I wouldn't say it's a habit, but I would just say how we interact as far as like things that I was used to growing up, as far as like placing things in a certain area. So
wait, you mean how you leave your shoes all over the place and your coat all over the place like it is right now?
As I was saying, certain things that I did when I was growing up, as far as like putting the cereal on top of the refrigerator. That is a problem for her. So the habit that she has is moving stuff when I place them in a certain area. So I try to go ahead and just place it in the area already. So that's a habit I picked up from her. Just go ahead and place it there so she won't move it, even though she's going to move it again. But it's just so it'll be in the spot that she wanted to move temporarily.
I didn't know it was a crime to want to have things decent and in order.
Next question.
Next question is, what are the top 3 rules you both go by in your marriage?
The top 3, I wouldn't say we have a top 3, but just rules in general. God would be number 1. That's one of the rules, is basically keeping God first.
Definitely.
2, probably respect. And 3, make sure you're taking care of our child. That's family first. That's about the top 3.
I would agree with all 3 of those.
Yeah, and a 4th would probably be like God, and like right up under the 1.5, like right in the, would probably be financially, because we can't make this video on the street.
This question is to me. How do you maintain focus on your husband after you have a child? That is a loaded question, because it is difficult. You are, at least I'll speak for myself, I feel like I'm spread very thin a lot of the times, and I'm trying to get a million things done, and then, you know, at the end of the day, I'm laying in the bed like, dang, I didn't spend any time with my husband. I didn't do anything with my husband, but I got the laundry done, I got dinner cooked, the house is clean. It's about balance. So I would say to try to find some sort of balance. How to maintain focus is an everyday thing. You just have to kind of work at it and prioritize, I guess, would be, you know, my top answer to that question. How did you know Solomon was the one for you? And then Solomon, your answer, how did you know I was the one for you? I decided that he was somebody I wanted to marry when I lost my dad. Just how supportive he was, the things that he did for my dad, and even for my family. And actually, I can go even further than that. He's always been supportive of anything that I have going on, what I'm trying to do, pushing me to accomplish my goals. So it was little intricate things throughout the course of our relationship, but definitely when my dad got sick, and, you know, when he got cancer, and when I lost my dad, that I just saw him differently. And I just knew then that, okay, this is somebody I want to be with forever. Good answer.
Mine ain't got nothing to do with that. I wouldn't say I found out or when I knew. I can go back to probably like 13, 14. Asia had a serious attitude, so.
This is true.
But I also thought she was cute, but I was like, nah, I ain't talking to her. So with that being said, I went there. I always thought, okay, maybe she'd be a good wife because we grew up in church. So I figured you growing up in our church, you'll be a good wife. I was never really the one to hop from girl to girl. So when I started talking to her, it was for marriage, but it was also for my time too as well. The tough times we had, the forgiveness, the respect, the jokes, the laughter, everything. I feel like she had the qualities of being the one. I believe that she was the one that I'd rather have took a chance with out of anybody else.
Good answer.
Can I read the question? Yeah, you're gonna hog all the questions. Okay. Give some advice before you get married. I'll go first. One thing of a marriage advice I would give you, keep folks out your business. They say that all the time, but folks gonna be in your business whether you tell them or not. So when you get married, I would say focus on one another and deal with issues before you get married.
Absolutely.
Deal with those first. Deal with issues within yourself, because you can't make somebody else happy if you're not even happy. Eventually, it will take a toll and cause friction. And don't let anybody deter you from who you like. People will be like, man, if I was you, I wouldn't do this. You ain't me. So focus on what you want, who you want, and how you want to do it. Because at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, the person who giving you the advice of I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that, they either not married, not happy, or yeah, she would say trash. So one of those 3 things.
What I would say about steps to take before you get married is definitely do some soul searching. Take the single time to focus on you. Really focus on you. Get yourself together. Because you and this other person has to come together and operate as one. You have to think the same, you have to operate the same, and you have to have the same belief. And then when you find that person that you think is worthy of spending the rest of your life with, make sure that that is somebody that you can spend the rest of your life with. Because I feel that the person you marry is one of the biggest decisions you ever make in your life. Communicate about everything. We'll talk about it later. Oh, well, we'll get to it. No. You need to talk about it in depth, how you feel about it, from how you're going to spend your money, how that person thinks as far as raising children. Really pay attention to how that person is, what they interact with, how they like to spend their money, how they like to spend their time. All of those things matter.
Okay, that's a good answer. So, this is what I want to ask. What has marriage and parenthood taught you that advice and instruction couldn't?
You want me to go first?
Sure.
I have heard for years about how marriages work. I mean, people say that, it's work, it's work, it's work. Marriage is work. We'll be married, 3 years in August?
August 5th.
3 years. Work. It's definitely work. And then parenthood also work. I have not heard people talk so much about the struggles, how much you worry about whether the decisions that you're making, how they're going to impact your child in the future. Because we're doing what we know or what we feel is right. We may not see the error in our ways until our son Nolan is a teenager or grown. What we instill in him is going to manifest, and the seed we're putting in him is going to grow. And we won't know until that seed has grown whether it was the right way to nourish that seed or not. So, there's no instruction or manual book when you have a child at the hospital. They send you on your way 2 days and a half, and you got to fend for yourself. So people can give you advice all day, but the best advice or the best way to know something is to go through and experience it for yourself. So
I would say marriage has taught me a lot. First of all, might say, but a lot, because at one point it was just me,
right,
and I was able to move how I want to move. I didn't have to say, "Hey, Asia, I'm going here." It was just go. So it taught me, okay, communication in that aspect. Marriage has also taught me that my marriage is my marriage and not somebody else's. Because what Susan and Dillard is doing ain't got nothing to do with Asia and I. And folks like to compare people's marriages and compare their husband and spouse. Well, if that's the case, you go get with their spouse. I have my own spouse, so we're going to do things how we do it. And don't get me wrong, all advice is not good advice and all advice is not bad advice.
Right.
Just because somebody is doing terrible in a marriage, that don't mean they can't give you any good advice. Or because somebody's doing good in advice, that don't mean they can give you bad advice. Because for one, they giving you advice based on their situation.
Absolutely.
And every marriage is going to be different. As far as parenthood, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, my dad had 12 kids. Same mom and dad. He made it look easy. I can tell you that right now.
I was thinking the same thing.
I was wondering, and I just have one child. I'm looking like the food that he eats up by himself. How this man was feeding 12 kids?
Man.
Not only 12, but nieces and nephews that may come over, cousins that may spend the night, different friends they may come over. And I'm not talking about staying the night for one day. I'm talking about weeks sometimes, or sometimes a whole month. I don't understand how he did it. And I'm just like, here, man, we got to make a tough decision.
Pick and choose the days out the week you want to eat.
Recycle diapers or nothing. Parenthood taught me it's a beautiful thing. And I actually love my son very, very much. And it's basically I'm showing him how to be a man. And during this tough time that we're living in, I have to parent him a little different than the way I was parented. Because things have changed tremendously 30 years ago. 89, things are a lot different than it is in 2020. I have to watch my son, once he becomes the age of 7 or 6, make sure he's not playing with a toy gun because you never know what may happen. So parenthood is a wonderful thing.
It is.
You just got to be willing to want to be a parent. You were willing to lay down and have sex, so you have to be willing to lay down and be a parent. Simple.
Yeah, I agree with every bit of it. What's the next one?
What was the best marriage advice you received?
That's a good question.
I don't think I received any. I don't think I'm young. So every time, what everybody gonna say? Keep those out your business.
Wasn't that before? Okay.
Right. And,
trying to anyway.
But I guess it sounds very simple, but probably the best advice would be marriage is what you make it. Even though I just said the last, it's what you make it, because it's like if you thinking about it, you're like, man, you know what? I'm married, but it's more to it. Just I'm married.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it takes some work. So sometimes you may be lazy. Sometimes you may not want to do certain things. Sometimes you may just, want to lounge around all the time. Sometimes you just can't do it. Sometimes you got to go the extra mile. You got to make some sacrifices. And sometimes it's sacrifices every day. A lot of times I go without just to make sure she'll have, so I can kind of make things easier on myself. And people say happy wife, happy life. No. That is crap. Happy spouse, happy house. Because the man has to be happy
as well. I agree with that.
The man can't just give, and the woman just take, and don't give nothing in return. It's not 60-40. It's not 50-50. And darn sure ain't 80-20. Marriage is 100-100.
Totally. I agree with that. We grew up listening to that happy wife, happy life. And I understand why people say that, but I don't want to only just be selfish and think about me. I do want my husband to enjoy being married to me. The best marriage advice I received was from a pastor at our church, Pastor Elder Vista Jeffries. Every time I spoke to him leading up to our wedding, it was always positive encouragement about being married. He also told me, you know, the same thing, with marriage is what you make it. But he was saying that the way we are with each other right now, the dating, the flirting, the things that we were doing while we were dating, he was saying, don't let a marriage certificate change that part or that aspect of your marriage. Don't let a child or children change that aspect of your marriage. And don't get me wrong, it is difficult because you're trying to balance so many different things when you throw a kid into the mix. It does change. But that's what he told me. And he said, marriage is what you make it. And he said he still considers his wife his girlfriend. And they seem to have what I believe a beautiful marriage. So I would definitely say that was some of the best advice. And
what has kept us together so long? I would say the wheel and the drive, because at a couple points we was on and off in our relationship, but she just wouldn't let me go. So I don't know what it was, you know. No,
don't do that.
So what has kept us together this long? I say will and drive. I mean, because at any given time she could have left me. She could have went on somewhere else, but she chose not to.
That's the truth.
It was something that I was doing that was keeping her. Obviously, she married me, so that's it.
He's such a jerk. The way you say that, really?
I'm just saying, like,
obviously. Okay. What I would say is what kept us together is the will to want to be together. But if you want to be together, just like in a marriage, if you want to make your marriage work, you do what it takes to make it work. And we started dating very young. We were teenagers, young and dumb. So you know how that works.
I was young. Not the dumb part, but I was young.
So I would just say the will to want to be together. You know, we want to make it work. We definitely saw marriage. At least I know I did. We talked about it very early on, even though we were young. So it was just the will to want to be together, you know, that kept us together that long. So I think I'll take over the questions.
A lot of times what people do, man, when listen good now.
Hey, you finna run out. What you finna say?
When folks are around you that get married, women, or at least her, when we gonna get married? When we gonna get married? That's all you gonna hear. After time passes,
Absolutely.
they gonna harass you.
What? Harass?
When we gonna get married? Fellas, take your time.
Harass? I harassed you?
Take your time. Let's go back to the advice. Take your time, fellas. Take your time.
First of all, nobody harassed you.
Take your time.
That's a general question if you've been in a relationship.
Take your time. Anyway.
Next question.
Now, these three questions are kind of like the same. I'm going to let her finish the rest of them out. But these three questions is, one of them is, how long have y'all been together, marriage included? How did you meet your husband? And and
that's it.
How long did you date before you got married?
Yeah, they kind of all the same question. So
she will answer those three together at the same time.
How long did we date before we got married? 9 years, off and on.
Off and on. It was like 9 years and some change.
Yeah, 9 years. He proposed to me on our 9-year anniversary. Yes, it was.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. December the 21st, 2016.
I did not propose you in 2016.
Yes, you did. We got married 2017, Zoe.
Oh, I guess.
Already. I'm need you to do better. Get
You
it
got so
together.
many dates you got to remember, man. My son's birthday, my birthday, and it's too much to remember.
Yeah, for somebody who has superior memory, like he likes to tell me, the minute I forget something, and you can't even remember that. How many years ago was that, Solomon?
Hey,
Ain't even been 4 years yet. You already forgot.
We don't even have enough
Next
minutes
question.
in a
How
day.
long have y'all been together married? Almost 12 years. Almost 12. And we met at church, as he stated before. I have said we kind of grew up together. We didn't really grow up together, but we were and still is a part of the same body of Christ. Yeah, so we've always been around each other, always been around. Our families have always been around with each other. I think my sister, went to school with one of his sisters or whatever. And we just didn't really start talking or whatever until we became teenagers. So
her sister and my sister went on a trip together. They didn't go to the same school.
Oh, they didn't go to the same school?
They didn't go to the same school.
Whatever. Oh, she went to Columbia.
Columbia?
Who said I love you first?
It wasn't me. You said
Why do you have to say it? Whoa.
It wasn't me. She said it first.
I did say it first. Somebody had to get the situation rolling. Does coming from a big family put pressure on us to do the same?
Nope.
Absolutely not, baby. Have no intentions on having a bunch of kids. Not doing it, baby. Don't care what you think about it. He comes from 12. My mom had 8. I have no desire and have no plans of having 8 nor anything close to 12 kids. Not happening. Nope, not doing it. This question is to you, Solomon. How do you balance being a husband and father?
That's easy. Being a father is something that I always wanted to do, but being married is something that I wanted, but I didn't know if I would be married. So, as far as being a father, I had a great example of what not to do and what to do. My dad was an excellent father, but some things he lacked because of having so many kids. He couldn't do, like as far as play individually with one of us. If he played with one of us, you got to play with like 10 more. So, being a father was like one thing I always wanted to be, which is why whenever people saw me, I had my nieces and nephews. I would watch them. I would spend time with them. So I got the preparation of being a father through being an uncle. I was an uncle at, I believe, like 4 or 5 years old. I always kind of had nieces and nephews that was always there. So the being a father and it's just, I want to be a father. So being a father is here, and then being married is here, because without either one of them, I can care less about myself in a sense. Those two are my focus. And if the balance is, I was like, okay, either I'm going to be happily or unhappy. So I try to do the things to make her happy and myself happy to make my son happy.
Right. Good answer. Basically the same thing he said. Balancing motherhood and being a wife, it comes with its challenges and its rewards. I love being a wife. I love being a mom, but it does take work. And I think the biggest thing, you have to do is kind of prioritize. And I'm learning that, more and more to prioritize. I like to get everything done, have everything done immediately all the time. And I just couldn't do that. And so now I'm learning to prioritize. Instead of doing all the laundry today, maybe do 2 loads today, because I'm able to put those 2 loads up instead of doing all the loads. And I have a house with clothes all over the place that I'm not able to immediately put up. Prioritizing, figuring out what is a need to do right now and what is something that needs to be done but can wait a few days. It can make things definitely smoother. And then making sure that I'm making the same amount of time for my son, for my husband. And that, it can be a challenge, but it's definitely doable.
I want to say this. People all go to gender roles. This is the man's job, this is the woman's job. Now, I believe that she does think some things is a man's job, and I get that. But as far as me, talking about me, fellas, everything is not a woman's job. Sometimes the role have reversed. I know early on in our marriage, I used to do all the laundry.
Definitely miss those days.
For over a year, I think a year or two.
Yeah.
I did cleaning, especially when she was pregnant.
Yeah,
I didn't do too much cooking, but I did a lot of ordering. So, but I can cook. I can cook. I'm very impatient when it comes to cooking. But that was my focus on how can I relieve some of the pressure off her. You know, it's okay to wash dishes.
Definitely.
It's okay to, do things that you may deem as a woman job. It's okay because if you can do some of those things, that can free up time.
Come on, you better say what you saying.
On the other hand, fella, stay true to yourself. Though,
Okay, you killed it. You messed it up.
Hold yourself, hold it down. Hold it down.
You were going strong there for a minute.
we ain't no suckers now, but you know what I'm saying? Just hold it down.
Where's the pants in the marriage?
Next question, because I ain't even gotta worry about that. You ain't gotta worry about that.
I allow my husband to wear the pants in the marriage.
Hospital or cemetery allowed? No, just playing.
You right. Because if you think for 1 second that's what's going to be happening, you in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, I would never hit her. I would never. Next question, girl. You ain't got time. Yeah, that's all of them.
Okay. Let's get to this question because my husband seems to have some diluted version of how we got together. Somebody asked me who initiated the relationship. I'm going to let my husband answer first, and then I'm going to come back behind with what actually happened.
Okay. I can tell you right now. I remember we was at her home church in St. James Church of God in Christ. We was at her home church. And I was at the water fountain. They had one of them old water fountains that you had to step up on.
Okay. You don't have to do our church like that.
Your tooth get cold, so you change the water.
That was plenty of years ago. We done come up since then. Don't do that.
Yeah. That was at least 10 plus years ago.
Plus, yes, definitely.
So I'm getting the water to my son. Don't hate or nothing. I heard you got a girlfriend. I'm like, man, what are you talking about? This was like February.
Yep.
Of the 2000, maybe
I don't remember.
16. Oh, not 2016. Maybe 2006. Because we actually danced around each other for over a year.
That's right.
Because she was playing games. But anyway, so 2006, I'm like, no, I ain't got no girlfriend. So that ain't what I heard.
It wasn't what I heard.
But that ain't my problem.
To the bottom of it.
That ain't my problem. But what you heard was I didn't have a girlfriend. So I'm, time go by, I'm thinking like, man, this chick like me. I'm just thinking like, hey, she like me. But I didn't think nothing of it because I wasn't going to pursue her because, I was too cool.
So he thought.
So I thought. But, so fast forward, I tried to talk to her and we were talking on the phone. I was trying to talk to her on the phone, but she kept avoiding me. I didn't know why. She can explain to you that later. But she was avoiding me and different things like that. Well, I'll just tell you. Because different people was in her ear that was negative, and that's what deterred her from, talking to me. So you say, fine, I forget that, I had time moved on I got closer to graduate in 2018. Not 18, I'm tripping. 2007. Kept asking Asia, hey, you gonna be here? You gonna do this? She kept playing them games. So you know what? I moved on, got me a girlfriend. Got me a girlfriend, Asia showed up to my graduation dinner. Jealous, I didn't know she was going to be there because, again, I was trying to pursue her. She told me that, hey, go ahead and talk to the other girl and all this and that. So, me and the girl broke up.
Right.
I don't know how long it was.
Clearly.
But anyway, to fast forward to 2007 of December, after all that playing games. I asked her, I went to her house. Don't do this, fellas. But my bro Matt, he had. Let me finish. My brother Matthew had a nice little Chevy green Caprice, nice I don't know what year it was, but it was nice, emerald green. And I didn't have no license
at all.
I don't even think I had a learner's.
You didn't have anything, so
Okay,
I don't think so.
I go up to her house. They used to stay in Union City, and I would drive my brother's car. I get up there, I'm at her house, and we having a conversation. But I had asked her dad, hey, what you think about me and your daughter talking? I didn't say it like that, but I asked him, and he was like, well, I better hush. I don't think too much about it, but I think it'd be okay. So
Wow. Okay.
I went ahead and we was talking and everything like that.
Jerk.
My brother hit me up, hey man, time to get home.
Right.
So I'm getting ready to go. I had asked her, I said, hey, you having a long conversation. I said, hey, would you be my girlfriend? She said no.
I did.
And I said, oh, okay, all right. So I was gonna leave. And then, no, wait. Ask me again. I thought you was playing. Ask me
I
again.
did, though. I did think he was joking.
So, I a little bit play around like, nah, I'm good, nah. Then I said, hey, you be my girlfriend? Yes. Hugging me, like, nah, you know how I am, But that's how that happened. I don't want to, what was the question? I want to make sure I'm with the question.
Who initiated the relationship?
So it was her who initiated the relationship.
Okay.
But I think it was me who actually pursued it the most because I kept trying.
Yep, I would agree with that. Pretty accurate.
So that's it. Next question.
Okay, so he gave the majority of the truth this time. The story he liked to tell was that I chased him.
In a sense, you kind of did.
First of all, no.
Yeah, she kind of chased me because check this out. I remember when we had the gospel explosion. We had the gospel explosion. Hold on now. I left this out. We had the gospel explosion. And I got to sing my song, it was in a few more days, old school song. So, I forgot who I was talking to, but all I remember is her. I was shaking people's hand. She told me, don't shake my hand, give me a hug. I'm like, I ain't said 2 words to you, why you on a hug? That was like in December. And then that when February came, I heard you had a girlfriend. So technically, in a sense, she was kind of chasing. But,
oh my God.
That's what happened.
Because I was aggressive, that's me chasing you?
Yes.
That's not me chasing you. Let me clear that up. AJ ain't never chased no man.
Came
ever.
over to my house, everything, trying to get with me. You know what I'm saying? You ain't come over there with Shay to do my mama hair?
I came over there.
She had no reason
You
to do
are
that.
full of it.
You had no
Shay
reason
was
to do
my
that.
best friend at the time.
Shay was doing
She was doing your
mama hair.
Tabitha hair.
Whoever.
She had to do your mama hair for Jessica wedding, wasn't it?
Right.
Okay, so I came to accompany her.
because I was there.
Oh my God. Majority of what he said is the truth. I'm not going to go into it because time is winding up. We got only it's a few more questions, but since time is running. The next question is, what advice would you give to someone that's planning a wedding?
As far as planning a wedding, stick with a budget.
Boy, that was the first thing that popped in my mind.
With the
Budget.
And don't invite for who you think you want there. Invite for who you need to be there. And I would say that I don't care if it's your mom and dad. If they ain't supportive of what you got going on, they don't need to be invited. Be tight all you want to, but I'd rather invite a homeless person that's gonna be supportive of me versus somebody that's supposed to be my friend or close, sitting next to me and don't agree with my decision.
What I would say, basically coincide with the same thing that he said, budgeting. Stick to your budget. And it's easy, very easy, especially us women, very easy to let that wedding just consume your brain, and next thing you know, you $10,000-$15,000 over budget. It's very easy to do that. Going to those wedding shows, bridal shows, you on Pinterest, all of this here, you will end up spending way more money. Stay on budget. And I would say you and your spouse, because it's not just about what the bride wants. You need to think about your husband, future husband, but stay true to your desire for your wedding, because people tend to forget that it's not about them. They think that wedding is their time to shine, or their time to reenact the wedding that they didn't get, or the moment that they didn't get. They tend to think it's about them. Stay true to whatever it is that you and your spouse want. You know, no matter what it is, stay true to that. Because you want to look back on your wedding day and look at your pictures and be able to say, I had the wedding that I wanted, not I had the wedding somebody else wanted. Right. You know, have what you want to have.
If you want an orange and mint green or whatever color you want for your wedding, don't let anybody tell me. Well, for my wedding was, I don't care about your wedding. Especially if you got married and your stuff was in black and white, do not tell nobody. Or what I mean by black and white, the picture of the video. Don't tell me what you did when you got married.
Okay, so we're gonna do this last question and we're gonna get out of here. What are 3 things you love about your spouse?
3 things I love about my spouse. It's kind of nerve-wracking. Nerve-wracking, but it is nice as far as cleaning.
Oh, yeah. Baby,
for the most part, we're not in this spot because everything is dirty. I can show you around, but it's an understatement, basically, as far as cleaning. Because sometimes when people think, okay, I clean, but the way she cleans is a lot different. I can put a cup. I'm drinking out of a cup and set it on the floor. I'm going to get something else again, or I put it by the sink. Okay, I'm going to get some more later on, about an hour or 2. It's in the thing getting washed. I'm like, come on. Hey. I love her smile. I know I joke sometimes about her being loud, and she laugh loud. Even though my joke may not be funny, I know for a fact she gonna laugh at them. So she made me feel pretty good thinking I'm funny. So and
that's the truth.
Another thing that I love that I probably never told her this is that she's a fighter. She could have given up. Sometimes she have, but for the most part, she hasn't. And on a lot of things, she could have given up on, and she hasn't. And that says a lot for somebody to keep getting knocked down and keep trying. Because I'm just gonna tell you, after a couple times, that's it.
The 3 things, I definitely could do more than 3, but I love the fact that he's family oriented. I mean, from the very beginning, he always spoke very highly of his family. He always tried to do things to get his family together. He still does sometimes to this day. He loves spending time with his family. And that was big to me. And then the fact that he'll do anything don't do that. He'll do anything to help anybody, like literally help anybody. He doesn't have to know you. He doesn't have to have any real ties to you. And he'll do what he can to help you. I love that as well. That's a good trait to have in anybody. But definitely. The 3rd thing I would say is I like his eyes. I tell him all the time, yes. Okay. He has beautiful eyes, like clearly. They're like this light golden brown color. But, you know, don't look too long because, you know, that could result in physical harm for you. But there's several things I can say that I love about him. But, you know, you only asked for 3. So, all right. So, I thank you guys for your questions. Hopefully we answered them to your liking. And until my next video.